Hey, Blasphemers, hang tight. We have Jack and Rick and our as guests, and we're about to start the show now. Hey, Blasphemers, welcome to Simple Blasphemy, where we have the best times with the worst topics.
We're three friends that discuss everything and nothing, from wacky headlines to games and trivia. All subjects bizarre and risque are on the table.
Our weekly guests range from friends, musicians, and artists to professionals in a variety of industries.
We go live on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Want to support the show? Join our Patreon. You can find it and more at www.simpleblasphemy.com.
So grab a drink and join it!
It's too late now. This is Simple Blasphemy.
We like to start that with a small clap because we actually have real hand claps on our podcast. Other people have fake studio audiences. Anyway, here we go. Welcome to the Simple Blasphemy Podcast, all you blasphemers out there. My name is Zach Ward, and I have here with me always Andy.
How the hell are you guys doing?
And Mr. Zach Green, the Machine.
Oh, hi, I guess.
All right.
Am I supposed to say something there?
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
All the info on the show
Fucking ran out of things to say.
simplefastblasphemy.com. And if you click that like, share, and subscribe button, you'll receive 5 years of good luck. As mentioned, this week's guest is Rick and Jack. How are you two gentlemen doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for starting with a clap because I had it once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They
Hey
say
guys,
life
I
begins and ends.
gotta cut in real quick. I got some latency issues. I'm running off of my 5G on my phone because the Wi-Fi is spotty. So if I cut in and out, Rick has said he's going to take control of the full show for me.
Yeah.
And you're in trouble because it's not going to go good.
Not at all. So
The best I can, guys.
That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
This show, we are going to cover the relaunch of Gear Guys, aka Radio, now Gear Guys podcast. So before we dive into that, the Simple Blasphemy world's already had enough of Jack. So why don't we get to know Rick
Oh, God.
just a little better? We're gonna
Sorry
shoot.
about that.
It's okay. It's fine. We're gonna shoot a couple questions at you really quick here. Rick, are you ready? Great.
Thanks.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
You know what? To be a lot more successful and a lot more taller. But I'm pretty tall. I'm like 6'1".
Oh, wow.
That's a superpower to me. I mean, I don't know about
Most
you
certainly
guys.
is. And how much more taller would you want to be? I suppose is the
These days, enough to play basketball. You know why?
9 feet.
9 feet a day.
Mm-hmm.
The Anunnaki.
You have to grow all at once, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, too. Fine.
Everybody's going to watch, and there's going to be a lot of screaming and a lot of bulging.
It's like American Werewolf in London. I get
Oh,
that.
it's still one of the best fucking transformation scenes ever.
Are you talking about Sweet Home Alabama? Some people got that. Hey, this is a music person show this week, folks. So if you're a musician, hang tight. Rick, what age do you consider old?
I'm 51 right now. I used to consider 51 old
Okay.
until I got here, and I still have all my hair. So I'm doing okay. I'm not doing bad. You know, I'm still an athlete. I still have interest in life, and everything's good. You know, I'm not old yet, but I'm getting there. My dad had gray hair at my age, like massive gray hair.
Like Steve Martin gray hair?
Pretty close.
Bill Donahue.
Pretty.
Ooh.
Wasn't he born with gray hair?
Well, wait, Steve. They're kind of the same, I guess.
So are you also a New Jersey resident as well?
I am born and raised.
Okay,
Which means
so
I have to know the words to at least 3 Bon Jovi songs.
That's true. Well, this is a different question, but which one of the New Kids on the Block do you relate to most?
That's a tough one. It's the ugly one.
Oh,
the guy who looked like
Donnie.
Frankenstein out there,
Danny. Danny was.
Yeah, Danny. You know what? I don't want to say his name because of libel reasons, but
Sure, it's Danny. It's definitely Danny.
It was a little awkward, but Danny got his way.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
He looks actually pretty ripped now. I follow New Kids on the Block.
And you lost me.
Rick, you're in your 50s. You've been around the block maybe a few more times, like Andy has said, than the ice cream truck machine or whatever.
The ice cream machine.
I jingle.
What is the worst job you ever had and why? It's the last question.
You know what? I've had my job for 21 years and I love it every day. My worst job, I drink so much. I've blocked them all out. To be honest with you, I think I tried to be a landscaper for a day because I thought it'd be cool. I just push stuff around, and you can, and it'll be great. And Guns N' Roses was big at the time. That was probably my worst job. It lasted about 4 hours, and they dropped me off. They literally
they dropped you off.
No, they put me in a truck and just went, "Oh, here's a corner. See ya."
Oh my god!
Just like the Kirby salesman, it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much.
They didn't drop you off at home. They just dropped you off.
No, they just dropped me off.
All right. This is McDonald's
I
on the
had
left.
35 cents. It cost 35 cents for a phone call back then.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, when payphones were around, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, really quickly before we dive into music, folks, we would like to do our segment called the Shout Out. We like to give a shout out to the top 5 countries that tune into the audio only podcast.
All 5 countries are India.
India has finally surpassed the 70 percentile, and they are now into the 80 percentile. So thank you to everybody in India once again.
Hey, did anybody ever answer that question? Why? What is
we should be drowning in rupees right now.
Yeah. Number 2, United States, 3, Canada, 4, Russia, 5, Germany. And
this sounds like collusion, bro. This sounds like collusion.
And lastly, we have our shout out from Tanner Wirtz.
What's up, guys? Tanner Wirtz here. I want to give a big shout out to Rallies because they're kind of like your ex-girlfriend. You think about it late at night, and sometimes they make you feel like shit. Feast on.
That was interesting.
Thank you. And for those that have the equivalent is checkers, so you could, I don't know where they are.
Rallies is now spelled checkers.
Well, no, it's just that the rallies and the checkers are the same franchise.
I know, and their ad campaign was Rallies is now spelled checkers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were going to change all of the ones in the United States to checkers for a little while. I don't know why the fuck I remember that. Sorry.
So rather than doing the game later into the show, we are going to just jump and quiz Rick and Jack right now. I have 5.
Shh, Jack.
I have 5 questions for you. This is a quiz on guitar gear.
Ricky's not going to know this. He's a record exec. He doesn't play.
Well, then you can guess.
Okay.
I'm good at that. I'm very good at that.
Motherfucker went 3rd grade teacher. Well, then you can guess.
I got to tell you, I keep dropping your audio.
That's great. So what I'm going to do is
he does that at work all day. He goes, "Oh, I can't do anything on my computer.
Just shopping.
User error."
No. All right, I can hear you now, bro. I can hear you now. I'm bumping off of 5G. It sucks. What's up?
It's still way better than the sponge.
Oh yeah, that was all over the place.
So here we go. 5 guitar players. Can you guys guess or know what their guitar name is? The name of their guitar. We're going to start with number 1 here, folks. So for the audio, this is Bo Diddley with his famous guitar. Does
Don't do
anybody?
this to me.
Jack, this is really just for you then.
I know it's a cigar box guitar with 2 PAFs in it. They're patent pendings. I know what it is. I don't know what the fuck he called it.
Is that Lucille?
I think that's the name.
No.
No,
I'm out.
Lucille's BB's guitar.
Nobody? Okay.
Lucille Senior.
All right. So this is Bo Diddley. His guitar name is the Twang Machine.
I didn't even know that. Sorry.
Wow, Bo, you could have done better on that.
The Twang Machine. From now on, Green, can you please just guess something that might be entertaining since Jack doesn't know these names? Here we go.
I don't know guitars
I'm just kidding.
or guitar
Pinball
players.
machines.
Here
Or that.
I should probably monitor the Okay, so Tanner says go fund me to get Jack better Wi-Fi. Okay.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
Oh man, look at that smile on Jack's face right now.
I'm trying to set
You
up
could say
and it's not
anything to
working.
him right now, and he would just smile and take it.
All right.
I would.
And folks, if you are in the chat, please guess the names. Here we go. Picture number 2. This is Prince with his very iconic.
Oh,
It looks like
Paisley. Purple Paisley, is it?
It looks
No.
like a sperm with a neck headstock.
Donkey penis.
Donkey teeth.
Donkey teeth.
Jack, you're the guitar guru. What's the name of
I don't know
Prince's?
what the fucking note he names it. Jesus Christ. I can tell you what's in it. I'm pretty sure that he's got, what is that, an SH setup on that? It's set up as a Strat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he called it.
Green, what was the name of Prince's guitar, do you think?
It buzzes.
It buzzes. My text says it's the next.
Yeah, my tech says it next fucked and it buzzes.
Hey,
The
Tanner
answer-
really like strings. and
My
slam
guy's
them
been
down.
working on guitars for 30 years and he says that the
Says
neck
the
is
neck's
mad.
twisted.
That's the name of that guitar.
All right, so
Fuck, I
the
remember that.
so,
Fuck, audio.
so the answer is the Cloud guitar, and guess what? Tanner actually got it right.
The
There we go.
clap guitar.
Yeah. So there we go. Jack, 0 for 2. Let's try to get this rolling here. This hopefully should be
I'm not
pretty
gonna
easy.
get any of these.
Yeah, you are.
God, I would have been better
All
off
right,
answering
let's do it.
football
Let's do it.
questions.
Here we go. Guitar number 3. Rick, you can chime in. Here we go. Guitar number 3 is none other than Neil Young with this super duper famous, what used to be a gold top, I believe, if I remember correctly.
It has suffered after decades
Les
of smoking.
Paul. Jack, what's the name of?
I have no fucking idea. How's that for a name? God, this is a terrible game.
I just, Green.
I got a hoagie stain on my shirt collar.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Andy.
I'm gonna go with Daryl Hannah.
Okay. I was gonna say I was gonna call it Free World or Free Willy.
Free Willy.
All right, let's see what the
The hairy smile.
the answer is Old Black.
Again.
I totally guessed
Man,
that.
you and Bo
Rick?
Diddley need to talk.
That's like so insensitive. Jeez.
Jesus.
Rick, any of these? Have you seen these guitars before?
I have actually, and I'm reliving my days to 80s Rolling Stone magazines where they probably named
Okay.
all of them.
True.
So
Okay.
So don't think your shit's original, Zach Ward.
doing the best I can. Doing the best I can.
That's fine. We got 2 more. Jack's video is now working for those that are tuning in. It looks like maybe not. Here we go. Number 4. Brian May from Queen is very, very famous guitar. Now, this is
I
great
have a
because
copy, and I don't know what the hell he called it.
there's 3 different names. So you have 2 extra chances to guess it correctly. Jack?
I called mine. Yes, it's fucking awesome. Who names their guitars like that? So I have no idea. I have a copy. It's a great guitar, man. It's like 27
Guild?
different tones. He goes between series and parallel with in and out of phase. It's got these weird switches on it, almost like a old jazz master. Beautiful guitar. Don't know what the fuck he called his.
Rick?
Just Bob.
Just
There
Bob
you
is
go.
pretty close. Red Special or Old Lady or Fireplace. Believe it or not, those are the 3 names.
I know that his dad they didn't, he didn't have money to buy a guitar, but his dad helped him make that
Yeah.
guitar. And the cool thing about that, he just didn't make the body and the neck, but he like actually fucking made the pickups. Him and his dad, he made the fucking bridge, the set, everything.
That's
It's
fucking
amazing.
awesome.
It's an amazing
That's
guitar.
awesome.
Mhm.
And not really have any experience in building guitars. That was like the first one they fucking did.
I
and
bet
he-
you that was fun to stay in tune just at the beginning. I'm sure they
Yeah,
ironed it
I'm
out.
sure
but
they
wow.
ironed it out, right?
Yeah, Dad, I'll keep playing it. It's fine.
Yes, it
Yeah, good
sucked.
job, Dad.
The lacquer sticking to my finger.
It ripped the hair off my leg.
The first guitar that I ever made, my dad helped me out with, and I never even fucking played.
Exactly. All right, so the last and final guitar. Now, Jack, you're 0 for 4. I think you're going to win this one, though. Okay. Now,
boy.
I didn't do loose seal because that's too easy and things like that.
Did you do Trigger?
I did not
Blackie?
do trigger either. But here we
and
go.
there's two that I know.
This is more.
Or one
here
that I
we
know.
Oh, let's just give this a shot. Here we go. Ooh, this is Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine with this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I know
Now-
it's is that a single pickup? No, I can't see that.
No, this one should be pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'm not that obvious with that.
I'll tell you what. Can you read the words on the guitar?
No, I can't see it.
No. Can anybody read the words?
Arm the homeless.
Andy, you are
There you
correct.
go.
The guitar's name is Arm.
Oh, it's right there.
Homeless.
Look at that. Look at that.
Nice.
Wait, all I had to
Andy,
do was read
I
something.
thought it was.
I was gonna call it I was gonna call it the freedom stick or something like that.
Andy,
This was a horrible game, bro.
The
this
fucking
is-
whammy
My
pedal.
feelings are hurt. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like,
There's nothing we like more than pissing people off with trivia. I found this out.
Amanda had it last week. It was her favorite NFL team is the Saints, and I gave her like a 10-9 trivia on the Saints. And then she said the Saints had won 5 championship rings, and they only had won 1. So she got,
It wasn't very nice.
I thought it was okay though. But
It's a
anyway,
quiz show from hell.
Tanner says "Pocket Full of Shells" is a potential name for. Anyway, so enough of that. Let's dive into some gear and let's talk about Gear Guys Radio. I keep saying Gear Guys Radio. Is it officially Gear Guys
That's okay.
Podcast?
It's just Gear Guys. We're not going to do FM right now. We're just
Okay.
going to go and do podcast.
So, how did it start before?
I'll give you a-
walk back a little
the
bit.
history of the show. All right.
History
So
of the show.
if I cut out, I'm just going to keep going and let you guys catch up because I'm playing around with 3G, 5G, going through a few different things to see how I'm going to do the setup when we actually broadcast because I like using this service. So Gear Guys came about after I had the local music gear blog, which ran from 2007 till 2009. 3.5 million subscribers of working with musicians and music stores to help promote local sales of music, setting up booths at trade shows to hawk the guitars and just work my ass off. Turned it into a internet radio show with this guy, John Hernandez, who lived in the Midwest. John Hernandez was a lazy piece of shit. I mean, the show we came up with was just phenomenal, and he just wouldn't push anything through. So I was friends with someone, and we were both within the Masonic community, and he had done a radio
What do you mean?
show.
Wait. What do you mean by the Masonic community?
Masons?
We're both Freemasons. And he did a radio show for Freemasons. That's what the radio show was. And he got tired of it. And we spoke about me not working with John Hernandez anymore and working with him and taking a different direction where we work with manufacturers and really push their gear and push their products so people know what's out there that's good instead of just having shit forced down their throat. So we did that for a few years, and he owned the radio station, and he had some issues at home, and I ended up buying the station, and I kept it going for about 1.5 years afterwards just to dissolve it so people had a job. So within that time, I mean, we really expanded to the fact where I was giving talks at trade shows at, NAMM and everywhere else. And it was fantastic. And it was at the time when Facebook Live was coming on, and I was like, fuck it. I own a radio station. I'm not going to do a video cast. I'm not set up for it. It's going to be a bottomless pit because everyone was jumping on this Facebook Live thing. I really thought that's where it was going. So I just said, I'm done. And I said I wouldn't bring back the show unless I had a really good reason for it, because we helped so many people connect, and we helped countless albums connect by bringing on a gear maker and 3 or 4 of their people that played, and we created super bands out of the people that went on the show. And it was just a phenomenal feeling. So COVID happened. I got shit jobs in music. I was about to sell everything I own and fucking move to Colorado, because I own a plot of land on a plantation where we're growing pot. I can't call it a plantation, but whatever the fuck it is. I bought 10% of 100 acres a few years back. I was going to go crash there. Interviewed around, and I found a company that the owner of the company owns a record label. So I said, if I'm going to stay, this is where I'm going to go and work with them. Hired me as customer service. And after 4 months, we are building a bridge company between his company that makes merchandise for musicians, high-end jewelry, and Ted Poley just got from Danger jewelry made for his fans through him, to Deco, which is the other company he owns, which is a record label. So we're going to build an entertainment empire to help musicians succeed, learn how to make a living, and teach them about maintaining their gear by bringing on artists. And I mean, I'm calling on everybody. Your Larry Mitchells. I know Mick Hayes and I had a falling out when he found God after he got sober. I love you, Mick. If you want to be part of it, we'll do it. But, Bumblefoot I reached out to everybody on the NAGS roster. And so far we have Maxwell Feinstein, who's participating. We have Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone and Pickups. And
love Max.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and he's going to be doing demos. I want NAMM style demos. These guys that are making these entertaining things where they're running around with girls with tits and playing guitar like shit, but giving us a review of what it is. Who the fuck cares?
Girls with tits.
Yeah, I want
playing guitar
demos
like
like
shit.
if you're at NAMM, if you're a retailer, or if you're a serious musician, all you care about is transparency. Plug in a guitar, give me a 1/4-inch cable into it, a pedal that you're trying to sell me into the amp. Let me know what the amp is about. Don't show me how well you can play. Play something that the average person can play with articulation, so I could see what it's able to do, and I can use it as a musician to accomplish a tone that I want. And people are just getting force-fed shit. And there's about 30 guys I follow online. One of the guys I absolutely love is Ben from Crimson Guitars. And I'm trying to build a platform like that for musicians that he's done for luthiers. And it's just a way to give back. And the guy who owns Novell.
Hold on one second. So, Rick, how did you fall into this whole?
Jack hit me with his car, and
he
brought me
on.
My
Mini, and I whipped it out.
Andy, we call that a life debt.
On the jewelry side, he mentioned Ted
No,
Foley.
it's crazy how we met, man. So I'm out my girl broke up with me. COVID happened. I lost over $250,000 in a fucking market.
Grinder.
Done, right? I'm writing albums, looking for a job because I got no fucking money. And I interviewed some places. I'm like, fuck it. I don't like any of these places. And I had 2 other jobs lined up, one in Colorado, one in Jersey. I interviewed this guy over at Novell, Harry, great guy. Talked to me, and I knew something was up when we were talking to me, that there was a spark, something going on in that company. They hired me at an entry-level position to answer phones. And I worked with the CEO and talked to him about what we can do to have his vision of helping musicians while still monetizing what he does with musicians, creating these beautiful jewelry pieces for him.
Okay, let's put a pin in jewelry pieces because Rick was asked a question. He hasn't even said anything yet.
Oh, sorry.
Rick.
My audio is going in and out. So
Yes.
I'm just doing a fake thing, bro.
Rick, how are you today, Rick?
Nice to meet you today. Thank you.
Very
so
nice to meet you. I'm so glad we got to connect right now. How did you fall into this?
All this.
What interested you into it?
I've been with the company, the jewelry side, 21 years.
Okay.
My boss and I have been talking about making a connection between jewelry and musicians as a way to expand income. As Jack mentioned, Ted Poley, hard rock guy, came out with this ring that jewelry line that's doing okay. For right now, just got out there. It's expanding. We had a good Black Friday, good Cyber Monday. We're moving forward with it. 2021 looks good, but it made a lot of sense for jewelry and music to go together. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking about this for a long time. Jack has done an awesome job at facilitating it because I don't know if you noticed, he kind of goes 90 miles an hour.
Kind of.
So he's done a really, really good job. We have this vision. I'm loving every second of it. I came 4 years before I was with Novell. I had sold my soul. I worked for concert promoters. I didn't make a lot of money. I did everything from jazz to big stuff, little stuff for about 4 years, 5 years. I showed up at this company and they said they do wedding bands. And I said, that makes sense because I just did 4 years on the business side of the jewelry industry. I didn't realize that the wedding band was around the finger. And I just decided, I said, I'll give it 6 months. 21 years later, here's what we're doing. Real excited about what's going on right now. It just, I've said it probably about 19 times right now, but, it makes sense to help, artists expand, get into another, realm of income. Deco is doing a great job with vinyl. They're doing a great job with a lot of diverse acts. One of my favorite acts
is it Novell Design Studio? Is that
it's Novell Design Studio? It's now Novell Global, but yeah, Novell Design Studio. Sure.
Okay? So at least I want to put this up for the people because I just looked this up. Novell, is that correct?
Yeah, Novell
correct.
Design Studios, Novell
That's
Global are the sponsors of Gear Guys.
Okay.
Gear Guys is really not going to have a whole lot to do with jewelry besides connecting people with Novell to get them, merchandise that makes sense.
Okay, just for people that are listening, like they can.
We're working with them on a high end. I mean, Ted Poley stuff got out there.
All right, Jack, you're cutting out. So
Tiffany.
1 second.
I think we're alone now, Tiffany. That it's really going in positive directions for a lot of things.
So, Rick, Novell, how did you guys decide to resurrect? I'm assuming that you wanted to diversify, awareness. Because even with Jack and I talked about the Novell jewelry line, I don't know, 2 months ago, months ago or so. He was just talking to me about it. So what interested you in jumping into the Gear Guys podcast?
You know what? I want to get back to talking about music again. I do. It's my first love. It's why I at 26 years old, I dropped everything and was answering phones for a guy like John Scher. I fell flat on my face for a guy like Ron Delsner, who was the biggest concert promoter at the time. And I got back into the label side. I started reading every contract, every fax that came through. I fell into jewelry by accident, and jewelry has become my first love. But the connection, I've always said there are a lot of similarities between industries. And in particular, as music got out of retail, so did jewelry, so did our products. It's more online now. It's more doing different things. And that's what I like doing with Jack, is that now all of a sudden we're doing something really different. No one's doing that. People in the jewelry industry are very traditional. They're when they find out, they're gonna get a little weirded out. They're gonna be like, what are these guys doing? That's good. It gets us put ahead in the marketplace, and I'm real happy to be a part of it, to be honest with you.
So, Jack, now you've relaunched Gear Guys Radio. You've obviously probably learned from previous experiences. What are your viewers, the new viewers, to come check this out again? First of all, where can they find all the information? What can they expect moving forward?
Well, the website will be launched in 2 weeks. It's going to be gearguyspodcast.com. We're part of the Deco family of entertainment, new division for podcasts. It's going to be a platform for artists to get educational tools, to find out how to merchandise themselves, and really how to be successful as a musician. What they can expect from Gear Guys is the same old shit. I mean, we're going to be interviewing rock stars with the people that make their gear, talking about intimate situations that they had as an artist that they would normally only put in their diary, about those hard times. Like I always use an example. I remember sleeping on the floor in fucking Mexico. It's horrible. But you know what? You did it because that's all that there was. So I want those stories. I want those people on that have been successful so they could share with the future generation on how to be successful. There is no one worthwhile listening to playing guitar online right now that is under 20 years old that I have seen. They're all the same shit. And they're learning from people that are teaching them bad things. It's not that they don't have talent, it's they're being told the wrong thing.
So
Music is not made to make money. It's made to move you. And when it moves you, you are rewarded by the monetary value that someone attaches to how far it moves them. And it just pisses me off.
Can I ask you guys a question? Now this is a little facetious and it has a little bit of humor to it, of course. I don't want to like give it the wrong thing, but we released a video on the Simple Blasphemy YouTube channel of the music of the future, and I just wanted to get your guys' take on.
Is it the kazoo?
Oh shit!
Man, I was working all night last night on that. Fucking took me a long time to transcribe that too. You like that? Was that pretty good, Doug? Sound good?
So that's Zach Green and his natural
Leo
habitat.
Fender couldn't play guitar either, bro. It's okay.
So
Leo Fender couldn't
Man,
play.
I am so fucking proud of that. I am so proud of that.
Hold on,
That's
Rick.
Out of the box,
avant-garde.
Yes.
Rick, what's your first thoughts? Like, are we seeing a portal into the future, or
You know what, Jack? Give him your Grammy already. Put his name on it.
You know
what? No,
that's
'cause,
the
you know,
video I showed
like-
him when I said we're going on this show. I said, this is the guy that's going to be on the show.
I knew it. You know, I like the younger generation. I like the guys who are emulating the Faces and the Stones and all that stuff. There's some good bands out there that are really kind of catching a real groove, like Dirty Honey and some stuff. And that maybe that's not for everybody, but you know, the future music. Listen, if that's it, oh Lord. You know,
No, that's all been mathematically like
Verified.
figured out.
That's just
There's
peer
meaning
reviewed.
behind each one of those notes.
Well, you know what? Growing up, you know, around the dinner table, when I played Cheap Trick while my parents, you know, were playing Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis, and they just looked at the speaker and went, "What is that?" That was my reaction. So, you know,
you never know.
You're just not ready for it yet.
it's a generation. Yeah, it's a generational.
Your
thing.
kids are gonna love it.
Your kids are gonna love
my
it. No,
kids-
your
yeah.
great
Back
grandkids
to
are
the
gonna love it.
Future.
That was the best movie ever, man. Back to the Future.
Oh, it was.
One
They
of the
should have
best.
stopped after that one.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
2 was good.
That's ridiculous.
So,
Yeah.
if I could, I guess I would like to comment on this. I think one of the hardest things, Jack, I think I've actually asked you questions about this, and a couple other people that are actually in your area. I think there's trying to figure out the music business is kind of tough, and nobody's, you know, nobody should just give away their secrets and how they found a streak or a little bit of a gold lining on making some progress, not only just artistically speaking, but financially speaking, because no matter what, there has to be some form of financial gain to move forward and take music to the next level anyway, right?
Absolutely.
So my question to you is, like, are you guys going to try to cover like tips and just things to get people that are writing songs and at home recording or whatever to try to get a leg up? Because it seems like all the gear or music podcasts that I've loosely stumbled upon never really get into the nuts and bolts of actually helping a musician make a living.
It's exactly what we're doing. I mean, I don't know how I found myself in this situation. I mean, it's absurd. I mean, for me to have one Grammy award-winning producer to be on the advisory board and staff for Gear Guys before, but now Deco, you know, has a Grammy-winning, 3-time winning producer on staff. That we have people that are currently gigging in bands that are participating in this, that all have the vision in the right direction of it's about the musician. Fuck everything else. everything else will come together, but it's about the musician. It's about the art. It's about getting it out and being fair. People should be paid for their worth. And unfortunately, with this way things are with streaming, that anybody can get music for free, that you could put up a song that would get 1 million downloads and you would get what, $10 or 1 million streams, you get $10. I mean, it's one of my favorite local bands is Thank You Scientist. This guy, Tom Monda, I had the pleasure to meet him. I saw that Bumblefoot was listening in a minute ago at a guitar show where Bumblefoot sat and came over and played guitar at my booth with him. And they went back and forth on these arch tops, one arch top that I built. It was great. But his band is fucking phenomenal. And his streaming, he said that he earned something like $20. And that's just terrible. I mean, the fact they have a horn section and he's one of the top VGA. I know you guys are Reverend, but he's a VGA player. He plays their iMetal, that, fretless guitar, and just does these amazing, absurd things that should not come out of that instrument. And the fact that a musician of that caliber is not able to make a living, it really hurts me. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, I couldn't even come close to playing what he does on guitar. And the fact that he's not able to make a living is not only discouraging, it's fucking wrong. He does not deserve to own a music store or teach music. He deserves to be up on stage with his shirt off with women screaming at him, playing a fucking guitar, and getting paid for it.
Or dudes screaming at him.
Or dudes, whatever the fuck he's into. I think he likes chicks, though.
So hold on a second. There's different types of people, too. Andy has 2 bands, and we've talked about it before. We have Highbinder, and we have Treble Giant. Sorry, you're muted, Andy. Anyway, Andy's bands have a monsterly amazing work ethic that they practice once a week. Well, maybe pre-COVID, but they practice every Thursday. They go out and do shows. Andy hasn't reaped any kind of financial benefit.
Never once.
I mean, like, not crazy.
Look at his house he's broadcasting it from. I mean,
yeah,
it's my house. That's my fucking house.
Could use a little trim work. And why? Yeah, but Andy's also found he could sit there and talk about success and like just making a group work just internally.
Yes,
so, but that's just one facet, right?
Yeah, I have no problems being able to tell you how to run, not even run, how to be part of a really good band and how to eliminate the people that don't make sense in the band, not in like a vicious way, but in a way to where the biome you're left with is almost like a group therapy session instead of it being just a rock band.
And on the same token, Andy could benefit from some business lessons on how to turn his money into some kind of finances too. And I mean, every music, that's the really hard part about, I don't care if you're a painter or you're a jewelry maker, pardon me, or a musician or anything in the arts form. It's like you have to wear all these different hats all the time. I have to be a businessman. I have to be a marketing man. I have to be a recording artist. I have to, create the song. So if there's like a one-stop shop, if what you're saying, Jack, or what you're hoping that this, basically turns into being, is where people can learn all the, something about the different tool sets that help people grow. I think that would be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're striving for. It's an educational source for musicians, and what gets people to pay attention is gear, tits and gear. You put tits in front of a guitar player, they listen. You put gear in front of a guitar player, they listen. So the gear is to get people in. We're gonna have some of the best gear makers in the world come on with the talent that uses it to share their secrets.
And so what about this tits thing? Is that yours or what?
Well, you can see my tits if you like, but they're not so great. But sure. I mean, I don't know how far we can go with the edginess of the show just because of what we're looking to do from what it was before. I mean, I don't know if I could get away with a dead hooker in the trunk joke at Guitar Center this time. But, I think that I've matured as a person, that the show's matured, that the idea of the show has matured. But I'm really sick of it. In 2009, when I got my divorce, the studio gigs I got paid for it. Literally, the studio gigs. recording fucking commercials and voiceovers and doing, hello there, little fucking voices and shit. I paid for my divorce. And the fact that Fiverr pops up and you get shit for $10 now, and people can't get those studio gigs, and now with COVID, it's a fucking mess. We need to come up with a way to have musicians make a living, get paid their worth. And that's one of the things I love about Deco. Before I even offered to do this and take what I've done and basically put it in the hands of someone else for final approval, is what got me is the CEO of our company that owns both told me what the typical Deco contract is. My mouth just hit the fucking floor. I mean, if I would have gotten paid like that, I wouldn't be here right now. I would be touring. I would be enjoying life, and I would be making music, because they're not selfish, they're not greedy, and they're giving the musicians a huge chunk of the profits, which they don't have to. And that's what basically told me that this guy isn't full of shit, that I can trust him with something that I've built. And I know I'm saying that, and he's probably listening right now, but that's what it is. I mean, you could have good people and honest people and people that are striving for something, but for a company to say that they put the artist before everything, it meant a lot to me. And it's something that I was willing to gamble my financial future on, to do this again. And
all right, hold on a second.
Boils down to.
So let's ask this question. Let's ask this question to your commentary, Rick and Jack. What are the pros and the cons to say like a Spotify or a Pandora or something along those lines? What's your outlook on that? I mean, I've received maybe a small handful of dollar bills from those streaming services, but what is your thoughts on those types of things? Should people like move away from it or try to unionize in another fashion, or what do you think?
Do you want me to go first, Rick?
Sure.
No, Rick, you go first.
Okay. You know what? It's been brought up before. It's been very hard to see someone do all those millions of streams or whatever, and it's $17.82. What I see with Deco is, they're putting together little bundles and little packages, and people can make some money. It's hard because you know what? I listen to iMusic. I'm buying less music, but I'm very artist centric. I buy all my friends' albums off of wherever they're selling it. I just spent way too much. I spent way too much money on a DVD CD package because I know the guy, and I had to do it. It's a tough thing. It's to me, it's you're damned if you do, but you're damned if you don't. But at what point do we say, okay, I want direct sales. I want the people who collect to buy because they will pay more.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to collect digital, though. You know what I mean? It's
no, I mean physical product. I just like I said, I just bought I paid $35 for a DVD CD package that I know I shouldn't have paid $35 for it, but I did it because I support the artist. I do that with all my friends who I sat on the tour bus in the 90s. Maybe smoking a little weed, maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to say that because
it's legal in your state now.
What are you talking about?
But yeah, I do go out of my way to my 20 or 30 friends that release albums on a yearly basis and to buy physical from.
I do too. What's really crazy is like I try to put out something every year if it's a single or EP or what have you. But the other side of it is like I have a great group of friends that are fantastic musicians, and I'll buy their stuff, but never does somebody else like reciprocate that too. And I think that's something that people kind of got to, I don't even know how to properly explain it, and because I want to be a gentleman talking about it, but in artistry and especially the craft of creating songs, is it really hard to your friend over there that made a $3.99 EP, even if you don't even listen to it, which is shame on you, but to buy it for $3.99 and not stream the goddamn thing, and just make that pool of
not spend $3.99 at the bar for your next shitty beer, maybe,
or coffee or teddy bear at Beaner's.
Where I live, I can't get a beer for $3.99. I'd like to. Where do you live?
Well, this
I wanna
is
move there
we're
now.
talking about
Well,
this is
it's
really
locked
bad.
down
This
over
is a
here.
bad. This is a bad beer.
That's a
This is an
kegerator.
they're in the 8 mile.
Yeah.
8 mile.
That's something I would love. I would hope that you guys could advocate for.
Yeah, sure.
Is the importance of supporting these things that we love. That anybody that makes music loves music. I'm sorry, especially when it's so close and attached to it, and you're 45-minute radius or whatever, however you want to say it. If everybody can get on the page where Jack comes out with an EP, and Jack's kind enough that he actually shoots me demos of stuff that he's working on, and I try to give my commentary. He's super duper talented. But if his album came out, hey Zach, my album came out, I just go buy it. I don't care if I already heard it. I would just go buy it. And
Well,
if
that's
we
one of the
can
things we're
just
looking to do, man. We're trying to figure out a way to get people to buy albums and buy music by combining it with merchandise. I mean, if you'll buy a T-shirt for $4 and get a free CD with it or a free download.
it seems to me like streaming is kind of bogus. Streaming is
just-
kind of bogus, man.
I'm old school. I like to have something physical in my hand. You buy an album. A couple of my friends put out, albums to where you get an actual fucking vinyl album with the cover, with the artwork, and it's something that you can put on your desk or on your wall. And I just think that's fucking cool. But I don't know. Is that just the old guy in me talking?
No,
The
because
younger
everybody
people don't like this.
Everybody
No,
likes
absolutely.
stickers. Everybody likes case candy. Everybody likes to wear a shirt. I bought a shirt. Like, if there's an artist that I really like, I'm going to buy your fucking shirt. I'm going to do that because that's a $35 shirt that you guys get right there. I will buy your album eventually, but the shirt.
Because when it comes to streaming, I know enough connections to where I can get the shit free anyways.
Right.
When I put money out, it's like I want to have the physical thing, in my hand. There's something I can hang on my wall or put on my shelf or something like that.
Just
Well, I
prop
think-
up against something.
I think, Zach Green, what you were saying about touching the product when I was a kid, I'm a little
It was
older than you.
religious. It was a very
It was-
religious experience.
No, it was an event.
Yeah.
It was. I called my friends up and what do you want to do? Well, yeah, okay. There's nothing to do on a hot Sunday afternoon in July. Let's listen to music, and that's what we did. And we stared at it. I stared
Right.
at Kiss
Oh,
Alive.
I still do that. I still
Yeah.
put on music, either look at the album cover or the CD cover, and I sit back and because if you stream it, you put on your earbuds and you go
Right.
and cut the lawn. Like if I have a physical thing, I have my music room here. I go and sit in this chair,
Right.
pour my favorite drink, kick back, look at the artwork or whatnot, sit and listen, and it's to me that's my church.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
same here, man.
It was what we did. It was let's go get something to eat and listen to music for 2.5 hours. Today's life isn't like that.
So let me ask you this question, guys.
put a-
So prior
On the wall,
to
smoke some DMT, same thing.
Oh, dude, I still want to do DMT, man.
so really quickly, prior to, for the most part, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to make this a debate. I'm just like trying to draw a line in the sand. Prior to the Beatles,
No.
everything was 45s and singles for the most part. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or somebody else was writing it. Prior to that, it seems like we've kind of circled around now that we're back to the single 45 in a digital sense, where maybe artists. My last release digitally sold, I think, $2 for some reason, but maybe I suck. I don't know, but the single thing, it's like, well, maybe I can capture somebody's not only attention but their 99 cents better than trying to put out a full-length album. Do you guys see that as like a current trend? Like we've reverted back to basically the late 50s where we're doing 45s?
2 songs. You always got to put out 2 songs, an A and a B. If you don't have 2 songs for $1, no one buys it.
Two songs for $1 sounds about right.
But
Yeah,
I
2
can,
songs for $1.
First of all, I'm 42 years old. I make music like they're my journal entries, so I don't hustle or try to really try to make my money back. and a lot of people are like that way. But on some level, you put. I think the majority of the normal music listening community doesn't understand. Of course, they don't understand like how much goes into, the final product. Like when you hear that song on the radio, I paid somebody to mix and master. I actually paid somebody to do some of the recording. I paid a shit ton of money for my little studio here so I can record here, yada, 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 yada. And that's another bridge I hope you guys can gap for people to. I always come back to like unionizing, like not so much as a physical thing, but for everybody to come together and support each other.
Like a collective.
Collective.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
that's the whole idea, man.
That's good.
Yeah, we're calling on everybody. You want to
Can
be
you-
part
can
of it?
you
Let's
imagine-
do this.
Can you imagine if there was a social network similar to Facebook to a certain degree that people went on there not to make a rating or show that they're like in Reverb Nation or Bandcamp or it's some kind of fictitious ranking system, but rather it was a group of artistic people that not only could like collaborate if need be, I need a cello player, but you have a group of people and if I were to build a social network, all the albums that you bought from your fellow musicians would show up like a badge of honor on your profile. And then if I went across someone's fucking shit and like, holy shit, they fucking bought my album, I'm buying theirs. If that was the mentality of art, that would change so many things rather than being so self-centered that I put out an album, but fuck everybody else that does the same thing.
I agree, man. I always buy everyone's album, even your crappy album. I bought that,
On Amazon. You're the only Amazon.
You sent me the link. I bought it, man. There just has to be a streaming service that pays people. I mean, it's got to be reversed. That you shouldn't have to pay to put stuff up. If you're an artist and you have music and your shit's out there should be a place that pays you to put your shit up there. I mean, it's just backwards. Any other business, I mean, a carpenter shows up at your house. If you don't pay him, he's probably going to kill you, right? That's how it works. So you need to make sure that everyone's treated the same way. And unfortunately, the arts are never looked that way. And people are rewarded after they die. And that just sucks.
Bill Burr did the All Things Comedy for that whole reason. He started that All Things Comedy business that allowed comics to have a place to go to where they're actually paid reasonably rather than somebody or a lawyer or whatever you want to call it just taking all the proceeds, and that type of thing. I don't know. I feel like
think
I'm
this
triggered
was
today.
about no. This is a built shit sandwich. You've got all of these people that need to make money, but they're basing it on one entity making all of that money, and then everybody else needs to get paid. And we're talking like Onion's torment. You do it for your art. You suffer for your art. I'm not saying that justifies all the bad stuff that goes on with Spotify and all the other streaming services. I'm saying that to change it is going to be remarkable, and hopefully you guys are on the right path for it, but like there's gonna need to be something very remarkable to shift the dynamic again. We need another Napster, but we need a Napster that's the wall that streaming hits and bounces back towards the artist for a little while.
And I'll be more than happy to pay personally for another FM radio station or an internet radio station license, and I'll stream the music all day for free on FM AM and promote it so people can go and buy it. I mean, I'll do whatever the hell I need to do that, but I don't think realistically that where we're at with Gear Guys is to do that. But what we want to do is we want to educate people. We want to let them know, hey, the guy with, that's got the 100 million followers on YouTube that can't play for shit, who's only played out of local bars once in a while, but has a good job during the day and can afford to buy all these guitars. He's not the guy to listen to. The guy to listen to or the girl to listen to is the one that suffered really bad or who got their shit together and they wrote music themselves. They went out, they toured, they did it right, and they understood you have a good tour. Once you have the understanding of what the complications are of putting together a good album And a band, you can put together a good album and a good band. But if you just say, fuck it, I'm going to do what this guy on this YouTube channel said, you're going to wind up doing shit. You're going to host a YouTube channel. I mean, I'm 42 years old. I've done my shit. I've toured. I've done stuff. I've been rewarded and awarded. I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting back on stage. I'm going to, for fun, start a new band. It's going to be Uncle Tickle and the Trash Panda Band. It's going to be phenomenal. Merchandise is going to be awesome. But I'm not going to be playing arenas. I want the person that listens to the show, to the people that come on, those are the people that are going to be playing the arenas. They're the ones that are going to understand, oh, I don't need to spend $10,000 for it to say Gibson when I could spend $2,000 to have it say something else and the instrument is more playable. That's what's important, is that the person is prepared for what's really going to go on and not this whole bullshit of, someone puts out a song about eating ass and it goes to the top of the charts. What the fuck is that? Yeah, so we want to educate people that really
Everybody likes to eat ass.
On how
I missed that song. Could I have a
make a
link?
living in the industry.
I love that
Yeah,
song.
that's a
Let
weird
me. Here's the thing. I've always if I could have one wish at least, somewhat granted, that wish would be TV shows, movies. There is so much great produced, and I'm going to rephrase that to great produced music. If you're an artist and you go and you record something and then you pay somebody to mix and master it, typically you're going to be on a level where it's really, really contemporarily good, right? If you mix and master yourself, it's a dice roll if you have the wherewithal to do that. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just that if you sought somebody out to make the noise that you did turn into something grand, and you paid for that, chances are it's going to be good enough. If the music that people are making on that level were to find itself on movies and TV, like the TV producers, the Trolls thing or whatever, get rid of these cover tunes.
Oh my God.
To a certain degree, I'm not shaming it, but if people just take, this is Jac Harrison's blah 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 blah, and it's on the news speed 13 or Fast and the Furious 13 or whatever. They don't have to pay this big money to these more or less corporations, but spread that artistic wealth to people that create music. Dude, that would be a monster game changer. That it just would.
Yeah, that's the game. I mean, that's it. If musicians are out playing, making money, they're making art, people can listen to the art and be happy, and they pay for that damn art. If you go out and listen to a band, you know that band is up there. They're getting a small portion of the door. If you look around and you see there's only 15 people in that bar, go slip them a 20. That guy's probably playing a $3,000 guitar to a $5,000 amp. They're saying there's another $200 on the mic, plus the gas to get out there and the time off of work, plus the time to write the shit or learn it. Yeah, just go tip them. I mean, it's ridiculous. I wish all restaurants down in Tennessee, when I have a new album coming out, I like to go to Tennessee and do the open mic scene. Down in Tennessee, on the receipts in the restaurant, you could put
band tip
gratuity towards entertainment. That's a big game changer. People should do that in this area.
All right, so
my audio is cutting in and out. I'm trying this right now on a 5G phone.
No,
I'm telling you right now that right there is a perfect example of a remarkable widespread change. It needs to be all over the place. If you have live music at your venue, having a band tip line is amazing.
People on that shit.
Right. But you have people that are going to say, well, I'm going to give $10 to the band. I'm not going to tip my waitress better. And so then you create this division.
Then the two broke to go out
of the
and get
house and the
entertained.
back of the house. But I think that that's a really good example of something that needs to happen more often.
So we're almost done here. We're reaching an hour, and we typically do a segment called The News That You Need to Know, where we dig into the news and more or less we cherry pick topics, of course. And also, folks, if you subscribe to this channel and share and like it, all that stuff. If you made it this far, it might be worth your while. And then also Jack and Rick, when you guys go live with your website, just let us know, and we'll obviously make a blog post up on it.
Sweet.
But
What are you going
there's
to do? Blog about it?
there's a headline that I kind of cherry picked for today that isn't exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, here's where it all goes.
No,
way off course.
No, this isn't bad.
No, okay.
The whole point of like this last news article is what happened during COVID, what happened during the lockdown, where you're basically quarantined to your house for 3 months. I mean, I sat in this very studio. I've got like 7 songs that technically need to be finished, but or have a monster start on. A lot of people got really, really creative. How do you guys see what the COVID thing did for art and music in this specific thing? Rick, you first. What do you think? Has it been a net positive?
That's a tough one because I have a friend, Alex Kane, and he's been selling about $60,000 worth of T-shirts this year. Instead of touring the world he tours with 4 or 5 bands. I was doing a blog article of a guy named Glenn Burtnick, who's a Jersey legend, at least to us. Gave me about 900 words on how it killed him because he did travel the world and he was doing a lot of tribute work, a lot of Beatles tribute work, playing places like Poland, Czechoslovakia at top dollars, and it's just killed him. I see some guys out there recording some albums. I don't see for the guys that I know too much, but they're keeping moving forward, and everyone is looking forward to next year. Hopefully next year everything comes clean. I mean, when I saw that woman in the UK today getting her vaccine shot, I felt a glimmer of hope. So, if I answered your question right, awesome. If I didn't, I'm doing the best I can.
Rick, that's the best you can do. Jack? No, I'm just joking.
It is at this point. It is the best I can do, guys.
That was a fantastic answer. Trust me, it was.
It really was.
Jack, are you still there?
I am. I'm cutting my my audio's cutting in and out. Spreaker doesn't work well with 5G. That's what I was trying.
No, that's fine. What do you say to the lockdown, the COVID situation? Have you found yourself at those times able to make more musical art, or what's your thoughts on that? Okay.
Well, during COVID, I wrote 17 songs. It was my journal, so it worked for me to get some shit out. But I went through some shit to do it. When it came to testing to see if it's any decent, it sucked because I couldn't. Because when I write a song, the first thing I like to do is go hit an open mic, find out if it's bullshit or not before I bring the guys over to put it down. So I've just been recording nonstop, and that's all I've been doing. And now working and smoking pot and all types of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of smoking pot.
Lots of smoking.
It's legal. When did you guys become legal in Jersey, by the way?
Sold.
Is there a date?
I love that Bruce Springsteen song.
Legal in Jersey. Slippery when blunt. When do you guys technically go legal in Jersey?
We don't know yet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really
January
it was
1st,
up in the air
to.
in Michigan for a long time
So,
about how that shit was going to work.
Zach Green and Andy's live in Michigan where it is legal. It's pure Michigan. That's why that's the joke, for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been legal. It's always been legal in Detroit since the beginning of time.
That's always been legal in Detroit.
Always.
Nobody ever gave a fuck.
Yeah, nobody gave 2 fucking
Zach
shits.
Green, you're an elder in the music community. There's been over thousands,
Grandpa.
tens of thousands of people that have your signature on their guitar across the globe, from anywhere from Australia. If you are a flat earther, maybe Australia's there. Who knows? Maybe it's not. All the way from Russia, Poland, Czechoslovakia, all the way down to
Yeah.
Argentina, Brazil. Just
I-
hold on. I'm not done yet.
Okay, go on. Sorry. Go on.
You are arguably the best guitar player that's underneath the Reverend roof, which anybody would say you actually are. And I will advocate that that's actually true.
That little video should show you a lot different.
So, what do you? Lastly, because you haven't said a whole lot, and your Moscow Mule.
I've been having problems with my OCD. My OCD has been really fucking my life up lately. But anyways,
But
go on.
you latch on to a couple artists, and you'll buy all their shit.
I do.
You know,
I
like
do.
we had the Colbert and Lovely ladies stuff, and whomever else. Where do you see this whole? Have you found inspiration when you had?
No, well, since I'm an old timer and I like, to sit down with an old school album on a turntable or even a fucking CD, the whole streaming thing, I kind of gloss over and it becomes not important. The one thing I did notice is that, especially since we had a lot of downtime because of this COVID thing, is that there is no shortage of talent in the world because a lot of my nieces and nephews are doing some fucking incredible things at like age 5, 6, 7 that I could only hope that I would able to do at age 16. So they're fucking putting out some awesome fucking whatever artwork, music, whatever they do, they're able to far surpass me when I was their age. So there's no shortage of art and artwork and artistry and craftsmanship in the world today. We just need to fucking recognize those fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say.
/
We gotta recognize those people and give them their fucking due.
You had better recognize.
Well, I mean, I do. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
No, I was just going to insult somebody.
Let me guess. It was going to be me, right, Jack?
I don't know. I was just going to throw in random out. It doesn't matter.
All right. So if we were to kind of dovetail this thing, first of all, we're excited that you guys are relaunching the show.
Thank you.
Jack's talked about potentially having us on individually, I think more so than as a group, of course, talking about the music industry and things like that. So that's
meaning the Zacks.
Well, whatever. And yeah. If there's a takeaway and you've made it this far in the show, we're not talking about Jersey, we're not talking about Ohio where I'm in, or we're not talking about Michigan with these guys, but there's so much local artistry that, if anything else, folks, please just seek out what you're interested in, whether it be jazz or whatever it is. Jazz cabbage.
Whether it be jazz cabbage.
And the whole point of it is there's a local community of people that are just grinding, making songs. I mean, Jack.
They are damp with creativity. They are just.
I'm just giving you an example. Jack sends me songs. He's like, what do you think about this? And like, hey, I really like this, or hey, this could use that, or blah, 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 blah. And it's relationships like that, or with Andy or anybody else, that we're all pushing each other, but you could literally, I can guarantee you, I don't care if you're in India or anywhere else, there is a local group of people creating art to the extent and doing so good and so well that you would never have to hear or see any art from anywhere else, from where you live. Don't buy into this, cumulus bullshit playlist they have over the airwaves. There are people in your community that make just as good, and in many cases, way better music than what you hear on the radio. Biasly speaking, of course.
Some of the best musicians are still fucking playing in their basements, and the world's not fucking heard them yet.
And I would love to hear some
thank you.
sitar death metal. Anybody from India,
Oh.
sitar death metal with a hip hop beat. Oh, if anybody's doing that, send it to me. Oh, God,
What
that
a-
would be amazing.
It would be. So anyway, that's our show here tonight. Jack, can you recap how you and Rick can be found? I don't know if you guys particularly, and you can say all your contributors to everything too.
Novell Global, Novell Design Studio is our main sponsor, and we have a podcast studio in their facility in Rahway, New Jersey. Deco Entertainment, which is housing our podcast and allowing us to work with musicians and build this network for entertainment and to help better musicians. And they can contact us at Jack or Rick at gearguyspodcast.com. It's JAC, no K. Not racist. There's no K in my name. So you can just contact us that way. But the Gear Guys podcast site, Gear Guys podcast, will be live the first week of December. And we're just going to build a resource center. We want contributors. If you're a musician and you want to write a blog, I'll give you a login, man. Tell me what it's like. Take video of you crying in the bathroom at a fast food restaurant at 2 o'clock in the morning because you only got $5 from a gig. Share it. We're going to help you. We're going to, get everybody together, try to make the music industry profitable for you.
Would you guys like to agree to come back on like in 6 months and we can kind of like reevaluate from where we are? Is that cool?
I love to A/B things.
Yeah, let's do that.
Can we all wear onesies?
Yes. Yes.
He's got this onesie thing. It's kind of making me nervous.
I'll just borrow my wife's.
Yeah, I want to wear onesies.
It's fluffy.
Okay.
Are you talking about the snaps?
Fit your wife's clothes?
With the flaps in the back, yeah.
Fucking 2 buttons and you can fucking pee wherever you want.
Here's the fun part.
Whenever.
Is buy a pair of those long john underwear, the red ones with the traps in them, and then put them on blindly, and then whoever's got the trap door on the front and the back, that dictates what you do that evening.
Okay.
I'm not okay with that. I'm sorry.
Before we leave here tonight,
flip of pain.
We'd like to thank a couple people that are hanging out in the chat and being a little more chatty than others. You have Greg, Tanner, and also Julio commentating, and we encourage everybody that comes.
Thank you to all of them.
Yeah, and if you guys, we do this every Tuesday.
No, Julio, I will not get off your front lawn.
Why am I not prepared enough to say who's on next week?
Oh, this is the second week in a row you've done this?
I feel like an idiot.
Is it the guy from...
I love surprises.
The band from the Refreshments?
I am pulling it up now, so I'm not... Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, so we have Brian Blush, from the guitar player from the Refreshments from the 90s. On next week, I encourage... Trust me, if you like music, you are in for a treat for the next couple... Tuesdays. So Brian will be on next week. We're going to go through the Refreshments history. Look them up if you don't know who they are. Mexico's a great song. There's a whole bunch of them from their first album, and also these they did 2 albums. The other one was something about a horse, but it's only because I've been drinking a lot of this shit. We are going to go over all that stuff next week with the Refreshments, and after that is Jeremy, from the lead singer from We Are the Fury, and a whole bunch of other bands. Jeremy and the Harlequins in New York City. So the next couple weeks is music, and then we're going to jump into other stuff after that. All right. Good show, gentlemen. Rick, it's a pleasure meeting you, and
it was nice
to
meet
you guys.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks
I'll
for
do better
coming out
next time. Sorry, guys.
No, you did great.
Strawberry
Don't worry
Fields
about
forever
it.
tonight.
Yeah, I guess Jack, go ahead. Let's give it up for
Strawberry Fields forever tonight.
Mr. John Lennon.
Yep.
Yeah, passed away.
So, how ironic that a show about talking about art and writing music.
One great musician.
One of the many prolific songwriters at least in contemporary music, rock and roll, and if you're listening to this and it's like 30, 29, maybe you could have a chuckle. But for us that lived in the 1900s,
he's getting deep with this, isn't he?
Yes, we're gone.
We're a
All
time
right.
capsule. If you're listening to this in 4722,
47 in the year 2525.
we had things we talked into in the webs of the internet.
Yabba dabba fucking do.
You did not have to insert anything into your proboscis.
Exactly.